Folks, before we start the show, as Connor would say, we messed up the long way. I don't know where we got our wires crossed, but the next Battleground Championship Wrestling show is Season of the Witch, October 25th at the 2300 Arena in South Philly. There will be a costume contest beforehand, plus the meet and greet with BCW talent and other vendors, so make sure to come out and see your friends, The C Show. Tickets are available at 2300arena.com. That's 2300arena.com. Tickets are only starting at $20. Where else are you going to get that sort of deal in this economy? Anyways, that's the third apology for this show. And with that, it's The C Show. Welcome to The C Show, everybody. I'm Charlie.
I'm Connor.
We have a jam-packed show today. It's our 20th episode, and to highlight such an important accomplishment for The C Show, all of the promotions got together, and they were like, let's all do everything Saturday, July 12th.
The boys don't get a weekend.
We won't get a weekend anymore. So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to start with Battleground Championship Wrestling's Hot Summer Nights. That was Saturday, July 12th. Then we'll go into SmackDown, Saturday night's main event, Evolution, and then Raw, as always. So let's start off with Hot Summer Nights. So first off, I have two apologies to make. The first one is to Tim Embler. Tim Embler. I want to make that very clear here. It's like somebody who puts on an emblem, an Embler. Very, very cool guy. He came out during almost all of the segments in the first half, and at one point he was like, guys, I didn't plan for this to happen. A phenomenal show, Tim. Seriously, Hot Summer Nights was an improvement over Original Sin in the way, like, you want everything to improve on each show.
Yeah, it was just great building from the last one. Again, I really loved Original Sin, but this just felt like that next step.
Indeed, yeah. I don't want it to sound like I'm dismissing Original Sin, but it was a great time. This was certainly a step up where I felt like everything is rolling and flowing very well.
Yeah, and maybe if we had, like, you know, a little more knowledge of the show before Original Sin, because again, we saw a lot of payoff from things building up from Original Sin.
Yeah, we did.
So I'm sure there was some other build up and all we missed. But again,
for
just
sure,
fantastic up and down the card. Every match was a hit. Yeah, every segment, every match, like, again, just chef's kiss. You know, I appreciate them letting us be there and talk to the talent and everything else, and I'm really excited for their next show that we'll talk about coming up.
Indeed. The other apology that I have, I don't know if you share this one with me, is for Crowbar. I was kayfabing, dude. I didn't know that you wanted to shoot afterwards. You wanted to talk from the heart. My bad, dude. My bad. It was really funny when B-Boy, after Crowbar beats B-Boy for the BCW World Championship, like, we're all booing Crowbar, right? Because we're just like, he's the heel.
Yeah, we're in it. Like,
we're in it. And B-Boy had to get on the mic and be like, hey, shut up, respect him. And we're like, oh my gosh. And
this is not part of the bit? Oh, our bad.
I think I, like, yelled out a couple of times, like, sorry, Crowbar. So, sorry, Crowbar. The first segment was Nick Gage challenging Christian Cross. Nick Gage came out to talk about his future. This guy came out. He was like, I'm going to fight you. Nick Gage hurled expletives at him, called him a pussy-ass bitch, etc., etc. I don't know who the fuck you are. Turns out this is Christian Cross, who's in BCW. I think we saw him at Original Sin. I've seen him around at other things in the past. But they will be facing off at Season of the Witch. Then the aforementioned match, the BCW World Championship match, Crowbar defeating B-Boy.
Oh, just fantastic. So many great spots and all with it. And again, after the match, after Crowbar won, him coming and talking about how he really appreciated Tim and the fact that Tim lets him wrestle like he wants. Like, this is a guy who's been in a bunch of promotions, done so much as a wrestler, but to say that he finally feels the freedom to wrestle the matches he wants and to really give his heart to it. It was really awesome to hear someone that's been in so long still has just, you know, like they say, for the love of the game. So I'm excited to see this title run. I'm fully Crowbarred out now.
Oh, okay. Exciting. Next up, we had Mr. Anderson defeating Alvin in a 10 out of 10 match, in my opinion.
Alvin looked awesome. His first match back from surgery.
No tune-up, no warm-up.
Just right to it. And he played really well with Mr. Anderson. They had a lot of really funny parts of it. They had some really hard-hitting parts. And the whole thing for this was, if Alvin wins, he gets the contract for another year. If not, he is fired, right? We got a a nice surprise after, Tim came out and said he sees all the great things in Alvin, all the great things he's done, and did renew his contract for another year. We also have another great interview from before the match with Alvin that y'all hopefully be seeing soon. Great guy. Wish him all the best. Again, can't wait to see him at
Season of the Witch. So excited for that. Next up, for the BCW Women's Championship, we had Sammy Chaos defeating Danny Moe. Danny Moe, friend of the show. Sammy really stole it out from under our queen, Danny Moe, in a stunning match. My one thing here is I would love to see some more talent in the women's division, some more competition. Danny and Sammy are so good. And, listen, I'm not going to complain if we see them go for a trilogy here for Sammy's first defense. Or, no, she's actually defending at Bell to Bell on Saturday. But, see some more competition in BCW on the women's side. Because right now, if it's just Sammy and Danny, iron sharpens iron. But we would love to see more iron in the fires.
Absolutely. And again, the finish was absolutely fantastic. Again, they were teasing one move, ended with another. I won't go full spoiler with it here, because you can still catch it on Fight TV if you want to catch it. And again, I suggest it. It was a great show up and down.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. If you're not in the Philadelphia area, we definitely recommend. It's on Triller TV and Fight TV. Definitely worth checking both of those out for the Witching Hour later in October. Next up, we had Ninja Mac defeating Ruckus in a handicap match. Ruckus came out early in the match and said he had injured himself in a previous match. The rest of his stable, Blackout, supported Ruckus in this match. I guess the funniest bit is the valet, the manager for Blackout, who comes out in what can best be described as a weed suit. Right? It is all just adorned in cannabis leaves. I guess this is part of Ruckus's gimmick, but they call him the Jake the Snake of getting baked.
Yeah, and lots of other little bits. Like the last time at Hot Summer Nights, they had a lot of those as well, which was awesome. And a super funny thing is he came out smoking, and Ninja Mac put it out.
Yep.
So you could constantly hear Ruckus yelling about this is why you don't put a man's blunt out. As Blackout was just beating the hell out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was really great, man. Ninja Mac moves, he flies around. I was glad to see him pull it out. I wasn't sure how they were going to end it. I loved the ending. It was fantastic.
There was that backflip sequence out of the ring. We posted it on our Instagram story. Again, so phenomenal. Next up, we had a announcement from Bronwyn Billington, the daughter of the Dynamite Kid. She provided an update. Apparently last year she was at a BCW show. She had such a good time at that BCW show. She's been rolling off that momentum. She talked to a movie producer. They want to make a movie about the Dynamite Kid. So that is in production. We'll see how that goes. Movies today are a strange business. So, and then we also had a reveal about The Movement, which is a new stable within BCW. That was a teaser. Season of the Witch. That's really exciting. They're doing some interesting stuff there with masked figures and people behind broadcasts and stuff. So, of course, after the intermission, Akira defeated Richard Holiday via submission. I loved Richard Holiday as a heel. It's just classic stuff. He comes out in the suit coat with the big old red carnation. He's got the black mustache, the black hair.
And the made it a cutoff, right? The no sleeves on it was.
Well, it's a suit cat. It's a suit. It's the vest.
Oh, it's just the vest. Oh, I thought it was a jacket that he just ripped the sleeves off. I'm like, that's so funny.
You wear that under the jacket.
Hey man, if I'm wearing a vest, it's probably bad business.
And Akira the Psycho Samurai was absolutely fantastic in probably what I thought was going to be the match of the night, easily. The 4 Ways of Pain. You had Phil Insane, the Beast Man, Sam Stackhouse, and, it's in my notes actually, and Christian Ross.
Wait, was it 4 ways or 4 pillars of pain?
It was 4 pillars of pain, but it's a 4-way match. You know what I meant.
No, I got you. I was checking for my own sake.
Yeah, you're right. The first thought we had was there's at least 1,500 pounds of man in the ring.
We were doing I was sitting there doing the math because
quick math.
Charlie's like, is there a literal ton of people in the ring? And I'm like, damn near most of the way there.
Sam Stackhouse is a big boy. He's not just, I mean, he's tall too. That's the other thing. The Beast Man is at least 6'2". The average weight in the ring was at least like 300.
Yeah, I was going to say the one was 500, the one was 450, then it was like 320 and three something else. It's like, God dang.
Oh, yeah, closer to 350 then. Jeez. I don't know what averages are. I think my favorite part of the 4 pillars was the bar fight. So a bar fight is when in the 4 ways they'll have all 4 wrestlers sit down on a folding chair, and then from the chair attack each other. And Sam Stackhouse gets on one of the chairs, and I guess it's already been compromised because they've been smacking each other with it. And he just tries to sit down, just falls right through.
Yeah, goes to plop down in there, and it's funny because then he was kind of standing, and like so people would like stand to hit him and sit back down. Again, super well done. Phil Insane is awesome. I love him. I can't wait to see what else they got cooking with him. He wrestled Nick Gage at the last show, won this, so let's see him get wild.
Indeed. Speaking of getting wild, Drake Younger retained the BCW Street Fight Championship against Jimmy Lloyd. Listen, this was a phenomenal match. Both got really bloody. Jimmy Lloyd is the man. Absolutely. Hometown boy. He's from Philly. He came out in the Sabu shirt, of course, paid homage, and then was just insane in the ring against Drake Younger.
Yeah, and after the match, like Drake made sure to give him his flowers because it was a hell of a match. The spots they pulled off, the storytelling they did, it was unbelievable. Again, I hope Jimmy gets another crack at him soon.
The final match of the evening, our main event, was Schlack defeating Colby Carino in what I would call a bloody summer blockbuster.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, gosh. I was already excited for Colby Carino. He was one that stood out at Original Sin. I was excited for Colby Carino, Danny Moe, Nick Gage, obviously.
Alvin, of course, our guy.
I'm saving the best for last.
Better.
But Colby Carino was definitely somebody that I was excited for. Schlack started out the violence early, bringing out the poker. Colby traded it. There was an attempt at a fire spot, which we would have loved to see. Oh, gosh. By the end of it, they're just like, my jaw is open. My mouth is just agape. And you're just like, holy cow, how are they pulling this off?
Yeah. Would have loved this fire spot to work. It ended with like a firecracker of some sort, some kind of explosion. That was super cool as well. But again, it was a great match. And we also had the Hall of Fame induction.
We did have the Hall of Fame induction of Missy Sampson, who we talked to. She was so cool.
She was awesome.
And if you're not familiar with Missy Sampson, she's a longtime women's wrestler. She started out in the mid 90s. When she was like, oh yeah, I got started in 1994, I didn't have the heart to tell her I was born in 1994. I was like, you don't want to do that and be like, oh yeah, that's when I was born. Because I'm already old, folks. I'm balding. I got a spare tire around the waist. You know what I mean? So it doesn't look great for us. So Missy is longtime women's wrestler. She's really been involved in bringing in more women, more diversity, more queer people, more people of color into the wrestling ring. A couple of years ago, she started her own promotion here in the area. It is an all-women's promotion, Bell to Bell Promotions. So that's BELLE to Bell, BELL, as in ding ding. So I told my therapist about that, and they were so excited. They were like, actually send me the details of that. So if we go, we may actually run into my therapist.
In the wild?
I've never met them in the wild. I've never met them in person. Just all telehealth. But yeah, no, she was fantastic, and her wrestling students were right behind us because they're security and referees for BCW, and so the entire time, we love Missy. Missy's awesome. Just chanting.
Yeah, the amount of love that she got, and again, not only from her students, from the entire arena. Like you could feel how much she meant to the wrestling movement.
Yeah, and being the first woman in the Hardcore Hall of Fame, she was very clear that meant a lot to her. It's a big deal when you look at that row. There's a lot of dudes there, a lot of men there, and then having Missy come in and be that pioneer as well. I think it's fantastic. Congratulations, Missy. Thank you so much. The last point here that we have is, so Tim Embler, he posted a video yesterday. So Tuesday the 15th, talking about recapping Hot Summer Nights. And he talked about at the end, apparently, he was very vague about this. Very good PR move by him. He talked about how a wrestler was not happy with the event. Not sure what happened specifically. There was an argument in the locker room. The argument spilled out into the parking lot. Apparently some fans saw it. That's it. That's all we know. That's all Tim admitted to. So there may be other stuff out there online. If you saw this, please let us know. Please reach out. cshowpod@gmail.com. We will keep you anonymous. We are good journalists, I promise. And so he was just very much like, the issue is solved. It's over. We're just moving on. So we will be at Season of the Witch in October 25th at the 2300 Arena. Apparently there will be a costume show beforehand.
Ooh.
So we got to think about, what do we want to do? I was already thinking about it, and I think I want to do Andy Kaufman in the Women's World Champion shirt.
I'm open to it. We got some time to think. We'll cook something up. We'll cook something up.
Plenty of time to think, folks. But yeah, no, that was BCW Hot Summer Nights, and this is The C Show. Welcome back to the C Show, everybody. I'm Charlie.
I'm Connor.
We are here. We're back to the WWE side of things here. We're talking about SmackDown on July 11th, 2025. So this is the go-home show before a big wrestling weekend in the WWE universe. We have Saturday night's main event, Goldberg's retirement match. We have Evolution. Is this the second Evolution?
Yes, this is the second one.
The second Evolution. And it's awesome. It's an all-women's card. We have a lot to talk about with Evolution. We'll try to breeze through Saturday night's main event as well. But here, we're talking about SmackDown first. LA Knight came out, and, leading up to this match with Seth Rollins on Saturday, I unfortunately watched SmackDown after Saturday night. So a little bit of a skewed perspective there, because it's leading up into a match where, unfortunately, spoiler alert, Seth gets injured.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more when we get there. And again, wish him the best in his recovery and all. Mm-hmm. Triple H even came out and talked about how they had to pivot things going forward. Yeah. So we'll just kind of see how they shake it all out.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. LA Knight, though, he wants dignity, he wants justice, and most specifically, he wants to hurt you. That's just a damn fact of life, because I am the spoiler.
And I know you're not scared, but you don't have to be scared to get your ass kicked.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that was in between as well. And, of course, this is when, from behind the stage, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. A quick aside, at BCW events, BCW essentially is like a continuation of ECW, the sort of spirit tone. And Todd Gordon, the founder and owner of ECW, gets a lot of love at BCW events. No mention of Paul for some reason. Mm-hmm. The crowd misses their cue. Paul admonishes them. And of course, as soon as Paul mentions he can see into the future, Knight has no future at all. Solo Sikoa and the MFTs come out.
They immediately threaten Paul. There's like, Paul, if you want to live to see another day, I would leave right now. Paul literally waves. He's like, all right, see ya, and just goes through the crowd and leaves.
My note here was, some things change, but some things stay the same. Paul runs out of the ring area. The Knight and Solo trade yeah, no. And Solo flexes his title. Solo offers Knight a chance to roll out of the ring or get his ass kicked. But who's going to come in to help other than Big Jim Uso? After Jim slides the chair to Knight, dueling chairs from Knight and Big Jim.
Yeah, they end up back to back like a movie, which I thought was awesome. They're like back to back with the chairs, like Lethal Weapon style.
Lethal Weapon. Ooh, that's good. And then Tala Tonga stands tall here. Of course, that one makes sense.
Did you notice how he gets into the ring?
No.
He just steps over he's so tall, he literally steps over the top rope.
Jeez. It's insane.
So Aldis comes out.
He says, this is still SmackDown. Aldis runs the show. LA Knight and Big Jim to face Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo. Big Jim to face Sikoa for the title later.
At Saturday night's main event.
That's it. Thank you. Everything's so discombobulated. I watched everything out of order. Backstage, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, Mean Girls. We're not friends, just allies of convenience. Charlotte asks, do I look like a cheerleader to you? Alexa responds, Charlotte, you'd be a terrible cheerleader. This leads into a fatal four-way. Roxanne Perez, accompanied by Raquel Rodriguez, versus Sol Ruca, accompanied by Zarya, versus Kairi Sane with Asuka, versus Alexa Bliss with Charlotte Flair. Say that 5 times fast. There's a lot of action in here. What's my move of the match here is obviously the Soul Snatcher by Sol Ruca, but she does a double Soul Snatcher here.
Yeah, that was absolutely awesome. For me, it's the Tower of Doom with Sol Ruca and Alexa on the bottom.
Yes.
Roxanne Perez and Kairi Sane on the top, right? Just Tower of Doom, superplex with the power bomb with it. Absolutely wonderful.
The finale here is Raquel kicks Asuka down, puts Perez through the desk. Charlotte cleans up the trash. Alexa, on her back, boots up on the insane elbow by Kairi Sane. Bliss goes up for the Sister Abigail DDT, pins Kairi Sane 1, 2, 3. What a thriller indeed, Joe Tess. A really cool camera move here. Charlotte and Alexa stand tall, and the camera, no cuts, just runs through down to the commentary table for Joe Tess and Wade Barrett. I had to think about them for a second, but Joe Tess, Wade Barrett. So many things going on this weekend, folks. Speaking of so many things going on, men's tag team championship, the Street Profits versus the Wyatt Six. You want to talk about your move of the match?
I do. Like, Dawkins, absolutely love Angelo Dawkins. Love a big man that will fly, hits a big dive early, and then hits a super clean swanton.
Nice.
Again, a man that big, get himself out, literally head over and just crushed. I don't remember who, I think it was Loomis, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, speaking of Loomis, the finale here is Loomis rolls out of a splash by Ford. Wyatt Six could have had it their way, like Burger King. Speaking of which, Loomis takes that opportunity to pin Ford 1, 2, 3 to win. The Wyatt Six take the championship from the Street Profits. This is my moment of the match. It's a really disappointing run up to this. We had a couple of weeks of just like, hey, we're going to have everybody face off against the Wyatt Six, and there's going to be a dynamic shift in the tag team division. And I thought we were going to see like 2 or 3 we were going to see DIY fight Wyatt Six once or twice, and build up to this, build up to SummerSlam or something like that. Poof, just kind of over and done.
I
I
didn't
don't
mind
think
it.
it's over and done.
Exactly, because it's not like it's over, right? Kind of like we talked about before, we think the Street Profits could possibly be moving to Raw, so that could kind of be a move for that. But we actually even go to the back with the tag team division and kind of hear them still be like, well, we got to fix it now.
Yeah. Shelly is about to go nuts on Gargano. Axiom is in a freaking hoodie, guys. I don't know how you're doing that. Phoenix and Andrade enter after hearing opportunities. Rey and Andrade are now a full part of the tag team division. We ready for this next part?
Yeah, let's do it.
Celebrities and the WWE have a long and storied history going back to WrestleMania 1. Now, you can go back and watch WrestleMania 1 on Peacock or Netflix, wherever you are. Of course, obviously, Cyndi Lauper coming into the WWE, all of the celebrities around at various WrestleManias, all of the events, yada, 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 yada. I was listening to Triple H talk about introducing Jelly Roll into the universe, and he talked about how he's been a lifelong fan, and he's been getting into shape Mhm.
Yeah, he looked awesome.
He looked great. He looked funky. He looked a little funny to me because, like, yes, he looks great. He's lost a lot of weight. Ozempic. And then, did you see his teeth?
No, I didn't.
He got Turkish teeth, dude. And, like, dude, I'm glad you, like, I hope you're happy with your smile. Like, I hope you like it. But, like, it's clearly, he's, like, getting used to smiling with his new teeth. Yeah, man. It's just really interesting when people are, like, so dramatically shift their appearance. And, like, listen, I'm happy if, like, those are things that you want to do, go for it, absolutely. But also, like, it's a very dramatic shift, and, like, especially with the teeth are very distracting for me. But yes, something that I put here is, I just want to get it out of the way, is I do not care about the WWE co-opting popular figures. This is something that Vince pioneered, and it's been a really solid marketing strategy with them, or for them. My biggest beef that I have with Jelly Roll and other artists in the space, Post Malone, MGK, et cetera, is that they embrace a hip-hop aesthetic initially, and then as soon as they start gaining momentum and breaking into the mainstream, they just switch to country music. Right. And it's a form of exploitation. It's targeting white audiences who listen to hip hop when they're younger and then grow and evolve. And I grew up with people like this. But yeah, no, it's absolutely wild. So Jelly Roll is here. He's performing. They're in Nashville, obviously. So they're in Nashville. Jelly Roll is performing, and like a minute into the song, Logan Paul interrupts.
Logan Paul had one of the wildest burns probably since we started this podcast. Logan Paul says that Jelly Roll makes music for people who have tattoos of their kids' faces but don't have custody.
That is stolen from the internet.
Really? I didn't know that.
Somebody tweeted it. I don't have the tweet in front of me, but
damn, what a loser. It did make me Google, though. I'm like, does Jelly Roll have kids and not have custody?
I don't think he does.
So he has kids.
Oh, okay.
And he is separate, but apparently they like a very good co-parenting situation with like custody and all. Apparently he's a very awesome dad, from my understanding, from what I looked up online.
What I was reading about Jelly Roll, and something that I do respect about him, is he left his Christian faith when he was a younger man. And then his daughter was like, "Hey, I want to get baptized," and he was like, "Okay, fair, whatever. Let's go check it out. Let's see what you're getting yourself into." So he goes, he checks it out, and he's like, "Oh, okay, all right. Like, I misunderstood things. I want to like reconnect with it." So like through his daughter, they've like reconnected in their faith, which I think is really cool. I think that's very nice.
It's growth.
It's growth, indeed. Yes, we'll take it. Love to see it. Yes. So Logan stole that joke. If Jelly Roll wants to be here, let him. You're already taking a check from the same company, Logan. Logan makes a crack about Jelly Roll barely being a musician. He is a musician. Logan Paul should really open a movie theater because he's projecting. Oh, that didn't work. All right. Logan says, "Clout chasers like you disgust me. The WWE needs a Logan Paul. Nobody in Nashville cares about the C Show, but I don't let it bother me." But then Randy Orton comes out. You've got the nerve to call that man an outsider in his home freaking town. But then Drew McIntyre comes out. Logan attacks the Viper while he's down. Come on, Jelly Roll. You've been working on this. You got into the shape you've been working out at the Performance Center down in Orlando. Now's your chance. Well, he does do it. He grabs Logan. He tosses him. And then Logan just destroys all the drums. I was hoping he was going to do the Step Brothers.
Jesus Christ.
PG
show, dude.
If you know, you know. I have a good story for you off mic about that. Backstage, Randy Orton and Jelly Roll are discussing what just happened. Randy thanks Jelly Roll for his assistance, and Randy offers him the opportunity to accompany him to face Drew McIntyre at Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, they're worried that Logan will come and help Drew, so Randy, basically puts out, if you want to be there, I don't want to put you in a bad spot. Jelly Roll's like, I'm a man, I'll make my decisions and I'll be there.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. We'll see where this goes, where this rolls, perhaps. Next up, we've got Ron Killings versus Aleister Black. This was a real hot dog match, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was so disappointed. Like they've done a bunch back and forth, and with the ending that we'll get here to in a second. Honestly, I'll probably just jump to it right now because I was looking through for my move of the match. I'm like, this is so short. There wasn't a whole lot.
I got nothing.
So Truth goes out. He grabs a chair, right? The ref grabs it and takes it from him. As the ref takes it, Truth rolls up Aleister and grabs the tights for a cheeky, cheaty win. So, this isn't over. Maybe they'll be able to kind of pin it down and end it at SummerSlam with something, but I was hoping for more.
Yeah, no, seriously. I hope we get some more extension out of this because there was a lot of commotion around bringing Ron Killings back, R-Truth back, and then if we're just going to see this sort of stuff happen, it's like, okay, well, it feels like you're rubbing it in our face. To be like, oh yeah, you're so important. You got this guy rehired, but all we're going to do is we're going to make him do 2-minute matches.
So Black's walking backstage looking for R-Truth, obviously pissed off. Priest intercepts him. He's like, hey, it's over. You lost. Aleister Black's like, you know what? It's fine, and walks away.
But does he?
Immediately comes back and beats the hell out of Damian Priest.
A few kicks later, and Priest is down. The refs come in to settle the score. Back in the ring, Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton face off. Wade Barrett is our moderator here. Tiff says she wanted to face the greatest. Trish doesn't need to prove that she's the greatest. Tiff says she has seen the VHS tapes. Trish says, did you see them on TikTok? And I just know because the accent, right? You put in like that Northern English accent, Northern American English accent. You put the in front of a TikTok, right? So the TikTok. I was so shocked. I was like, oh yeah, Trish definitely had to stop herself from saying the TikTok. Oh, did you see that on the TikTok? On Sunday, she will become an 8-time champion. Naomi comes out with the case just to remind. But Jade runs out from Gorilla to attack Naomi. Security attempting to control Naomi and Jade on the ramp. Our final match of SmackDown here is Jimmy Uso and LA Knight versus JC Mateo and Solo Sikoa. We're starting this match with 9 minutes and 30 seconds left in the Netflix recording, so we're not getting a full match, but we kind of do here.
Yeah, no, they absolutely fly, right? Knight and Big Jam start with a running double hip attack on Solo in the corner. Knight hits his jumping neck breaker and a reverse DDT. Big leaping elbow and a splash for a 2 that gets broken up by Solo. And then Paul Heyman's ringside.
Heyman is distracting LA Knight. Tala Tonga lines him up for danger, and Tonga just wrecks LA Knight. Uso rolls up Solo and pins him to win 1, 2, 3. Jim crashes into a fan rolling out of the ring, but Solo wants Heyman. A BFT on Solo Sikoa. Yeah. But who comes in other than Braun Breaker? A spear. Reed is up on the turnbuckle for Tsunami. Heyman has to hold Breaker back. The security crew all around them.
Remind me, we've watched so much wrestling these past 2 weeks. Was this when Paul Heyman was yelling into his phone like an old man saying now? Or was that last week, if you remember?
I want to say it was this week.
Now. And then they came running out.
I think it was this week.
Okay.
I think it was this week. Yeah, but I was really shocked when I was writing up the rundown with how packed this show was, how well it flowed, and how much they were able to build into both PLEs that were this weekend.
Yeah, no, it was good setup, and they had to do something with the whatever it ended up being 4+ hours of wrestling that was coming up, and then again add in Raw to make it 6.5 hours in 3 days, right? Whatever it is, again another 2 hours, so 8.5 hours in 4 days, just bang 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 bang.
Speaking of bang bang, we'll be right back talking about Saturday night's main event and Evolution. So stay tuned right here on The C Show.
Bang bang.
Welcome back to the C Show, everybody. We're here. We're talking about Saturday night's main event, XL. That's 40 for you non-Romans. I will tell you, our lovely audience, this was sort of a low priority for us, kind of a sausage fest, unfortunately. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit down. I'm going to watch this. I would just want to watch this, like enjoy it, have fun watching it, put together some Lego while I was doing it. Very therapeutic, very nice. So just want everybody to know that. Tess was so excited to be working with Jesse the Body Ventura, and we have Cole and Wade on the call. As discussed during our early segment on SmackDown, Randy Orton, accompanied by Jelly Roll, versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul.
This match was okay. This was all just building up to SummerSlam, which we'll talk about here in a second. My move of the match is Randy sets up for an RKO. Logan Paul goes up for a distraction. Mm-hmm. Drew hits a Claymore on Randy, but Randy gets his foot on the rope at 2 to break it. Then on the outside, Logan Paul and Jelly Roll are pushing each other.
Yeah.
And he totally just shoves him down, and Jelly Roll just shoves Logan Paul down. Logan Paul's like, oh, okay. Drew basically yells at Jelly Roll and is like, hey, if you want to be the guy, get in here and fight me. And he's like, that's what I thought. Right. Randy hits an RK off the distraction for the win.
Yeah, my move of the match was a little bit earlier here. It's that draping DDT by Randy as
classic Orton.
He drags Drew back into the ring. Yeah, that's what they said on commentary as well. And then after the match, Logan attacks Randy, and then Jelly Roll. It's now your chance, but he gets Claymored by Drew McIntyre.
And then throughout both of the events, Saturday and Sunday, there were so many different crowd shots of people there watching, right, getting ready for everything. And then so they're going around, and at one point they pan to Jade during the crowd shots.
Yep.
And Naomi just jumps her, right, gets her get back from yesterday on SmackDown. And but Jade ends up tossing Naomi over the announce table.
Well, it's not even after that. Naomi splashes off of the announcer desk and lands on security and Jade as well.
And then Aldis comes out. He's kind of tired of all this, all these shenanigans and whatnot. And gives us an announcement. It will not just be a regular no-holds-barred match. We'll have a special guest referee.
One Bianca Belair. So, another wrinkle in this continuing feud between these three women here. Next up, we have Jimmy Uso versus Solo Sikoa for the U.S. title. Yada, 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 yada. My move of the match here was the corkscrew off the top by Jimmy to take out the MFTs. Is that your move of the match too?
That was also my move of the match.
Yeah.
And then, again, we get more of the same stuff here with the MFTs.
Mm-hmm.
Solo ends up using a distraction to get the roll up. Mm-hmm. And then Talatonga basically puts his foot on Solo's ass for a little extra pressure for the assistants for the win. Right. Of course, Jimmy's going to get jumped after. Mm-hmm. Right. Samoan Spike, all that good stuff. But here's Jacob Fatu for the save.
Yeah, so it looks like for now, Fatu and Big Jimmy are allies here against the MFTs. Backstage, Kathy Kelly interviews Randy and Jelly. Jelly says, "I'm not soft." That was so bad. I'm not soft. But Randy and Jelly confirm that they will face Drew and Logan as a tag team, the RK Roll. So that'll be at SummerSlam here at the end of the month. We did have the one celebrity I did want to shout out were the Steiner brothers, who showed up to Saturday night's main event. I was a little surprised, expecting some more, WCW alumni with Goldberg being there, but all good. Steiner brothers doing some Steiner math off in the corner. I guess we got to talk about it. LA Knight versus Seth Rollins here. I hate watching a match when I know somebody's already been injured in it. And, you just want to watch it to make sure, hey, you get all the points. We see everything that happens. I do just want to shout out to Seth. Again, Seth, we hope that you get better soon. But also, shout out to you for going through and saying, okay, we're going to let the match finish out. I'm going to, close out the match, bring closure to it, even if it's not the best way to do it. And you could see Knight say fuck afterwards because he's mad. And he's probably mad just because it's like this wasn't supposed to happen. It's supposed to be a longer match. Yada yada yada. Extend out this feud. But yeah, I mean, it was really good. Seth was really dominating, but then once it happens, it's just like, oh, dang, it's clear.
Yeah, so he gets hurt going for a lion salt, a second rope moonsault. LA Knight rolls out of the way. When Seth lands, you can just tell it isn't right. He kind of crawls to the corner. You can see him, covering his face, talking to the ref. They bring the doctor in.
Yeah.
And then literally Seth gets up, Knight hits a BFT, and they call it there. Seth has to be helped to the back. Again, apparently with that and some other things, they end up cutting like 40 minutes from the show they had to make up.
Cow.
That's what I read. I'm like, that seems like a little much how everything went. I don't know if the main event here was supposed to be like a good chunk shorter.
They could have let Goldberg talk for 40 more minutes.
They could have instead of 2 seconds. I blame Bret Hart.
Bret Hart. Yeah. So again, this Heyman or not Heyman, Triple H talked about this in the press conference after Evolution. There wasn't an update on Sunday night. Rollins should be evaluated by now. He went to go see a doctor in Birmingham. I think it's James Hunter is the doctor. He's a specialist. Seth has already had some knee issues in the past, so we just hope this doesn't complicate that. Really excited by the build-up that was going on here with the Vision, what I'm still calling them, with Heyman, with Reed, with Breaker. So I hope there's still a way if he is out for some time, is there a way he can be brought in to like help still manage things, like help still carry the story along? At this time, we're still kind of waiting for more information, but again.
Yeah, the last I was reading up, they said 4 to 6 months, and people are like, well, what happens with the Money in the Bank contract? So that's good for 12 months. That's good until the next Money in the Bank.
And that's what Heyman said, too. He said, we're not giving this up until it expires.
Exactly. So there's still time for him to come back, and whether they jumpstart from where they left off here, whether it's kind of a whole new dynamic at that point, we'll see, but he still has that opportunity as that in his back pocket when he comes back. Again, just wishing you a speedy recovery, right? Again, he'll face whatever. They go out and they put their bodies on the line. Again, it's scripted, but it's real.
It's scripted, but it's real.
So get better. Let's keep this moving, and we can't wait for you to be back.
Is there a precedent for transferring the Money in the Bank case from somebody who's injured to somebody who's not injured?
So
somebody who's healthy, quote unquote.
When it's happened, it's usually someone's, hurt. And then it's like they have like one last match where they like make it through and they put the case on the line.
Gotcha.
That's actually what happened with Mr. Kennedy. He was misdiagnosed with a torn tricep, so they had him drop the briefcase to Edge, and then they're like, oh no, this isn't torn. You can be back in, a matter of weeks, but it was already in motion.
I knew that Edge was involved somehow. Mr. Kennedy, Ken Anderson, same guy from BCW earlier. All right. Our final main event for the evening is Gunther versus Goldberg. In Goldberg's retirement match, there's a lot of buildup here for this match here, being Goldberg's retirement match. He's been saying for a while he wants to have one last match. He wanted to do it in Israel. Obviously, the situation isn't safe there for wrestling, so they're not going to do it there. He decides he wants to finish it up here or in Atlanta. So when they get to Saturday night's main event in Atlanta, lining this all up. So there's a lot of buildup here between Goldberg's history in WCW, the transition over to the WWF at the time, now the WWE, and then sort of all of the people around him. Gage, his son, who's at Colorado.
I don't remember if it's Colorado. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's college football. It's a mess now. And then, the head of security from WCW who would accompany him all the time. So Diamond Dallas Page is the other alumni who I was thinking about. So yeah, I don't really have a move of the match here. My real thought here is like, this is elder abuse.
Dude, I don't know. He looked pretty good early on, and then kind of what people say about Goldberg, seems like he got blown up a little bit. But like he's throwing Gunther around early like a rag doll.
Yeah,
he spears himself through the barricade. He goes at Gunther and he moves. And there's this storytelling of Gunther attacking this hurt knee, even takes the knee brace off, flexes it in front of
Gage.
In front of Gage. Gage actually hops the barricade and security pulls him back, which I thought was really good.
Let him fight.
My move of the match was Goldberg accidentally spears Charles Robinson.
Yep.
And Charles Robinson shared an X-ray of him being like shoot hurt, like he broke one of his ribs. It looked like.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was really funny. Again, people always kind of tease, make fun of Goldberg for being like not a safe worker, and it's like, you hurt our guy, you hurt little Nate,
man. So the ending is Gunther gets the chokehold, the sleeper hold on Goldberg. Goldberg ends up tapping out, so he doesn't technically lose.
No, they do a pass out spot.
Oh, they do the pass out spot. That's it. So it's a pass out. Goldberg passes out. Ref calls it. So it's technically a no contest, right?
No, it's still considered
a loss.
A win for Gunther.
Okay, all right.
From him being unable to continue.
Yes, gotcha.
From Goldberg being unable to continue,
Gotcha.
I should specify.
And then, all of Goldberg's friends and family are in the ring. He says, hundreds of people have been here. Like 100 people have come to see me wrestle here. Thank you so much. Fade to black. And Goldberg has said, I wasn't excited about the run-up. I wasn't excited about the match itself. Goldberg has now said he isn't thrilled about the presentation on NBC. He says that I believe he has 2 years on the contract. He has an NDA. So in 2 years, so mark your calendars, folks. Today we're recording on July 16th. July 16th, 2027, Goldberg will start shooting. So that was Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, it felt like something sandwiched in the middle of a bunch of better stuff.
Speaking of better stuff, we're going to talk about Evolution here in a moment, so stick with us, and we'll be right back here on The C Show. Welcome back to the C Show, everybody. We're here. We're talking about Evolution on July 13th of 2025. This is the second Evolution. This intro starts with a pre-tape, and there's some really cool stuff. I don't know if you saw Triple H's press conference.
No, I did not.
Okay. This is so cool. I love every part about this. It was a member. So if you didn't catch the intro was 3 girls watching wrestling, watching vintage wrestling clips of women wrestling, watching women wrestling now. They're playing with the figures. They're doing everything that boys do, right? A WWE staff member shot that with her kids. Those are her kids.
Stop.
Pitched it to Triple H and was like, I already shot this. And that's the video.
That's so cool. I did not hear that. That's so sick.
That's so cool. Because it's not like, oh, they're like creating it. It's like somebody was like, oh yeah, like this has had such an impact on me and my children. So because in my notes here, I was like, are these Triple H and Stephanie's daughters? But no, that's the original video. I thought it was so cool because we have an action-packed event here full of amazing female wrestlers. We start off with Joe Tessitore and Stephanie McMahon discussing, before we go into a triple threat for the women's intercontinental title, Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch.
Man, they cooked. I do not know what else to say. And again, we have so much to talk about. I'm just going to try and hit.
Well, can I say, first off, we start off with an Irish standoff. Because it's like a Mexican standoff, but 2 out of 3 of them are Irish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I got you.
Cool.
Early on, Lyra does her swing on Becky. Bayley breaks that up with a huge kick. They end up fighting outside. Lyra does this huge crossbody from the apron. Bayley gets thrown in the barricade, tweaks her knee, is kind of playing with that the rest of the way. Mm-hmm. There's a point where Becky catches a kick from Lyra and then redirects it at Bayley, just keeps pushing it through to hit Bayley, which I thought was awesome. Big diving elbows. Lyra hits the fisherman bridge pin.
Oh, I loved Bailey's sunset flip bomb on Becky into Lyra hanging in the corner. Incredible. Becky attacking Bailey, sitting on top of the turnbuckle. Becky superplexes Bailey and then armbars her.
Yeah, that transition was so smooth.
Lyra breaking up the pin after the Bailey to belly. And then, are you ready for the finale here?
My move of the match, I just want to talk about real quick,
please.
is Becky hits a DDT, inverted DDT combo on them too. And then there's just a quick thing like Becky hits the manhandle slam for 2. Bailey breaks it up. Bailey hits the Bailey to belly on Lyra, gets broken up. Lyra hits the Nightwing, broken up by Bailey at 2, right? Just like 3 quick like falsies in a row.
Yeah, I just like the trading of the pins, incredible. The finale here is Bailey has Lyra pinned, but Becky flips Bailey over for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Bailey stares down Lyra.
Again, another super smooth transition. So Bailey's literally doing the Rhea pin where it's stacked up on her. And then again, Becky just does this real smooth flip over and into like a backslide. It's not even like it was a cross, but like a full backslide, gets the 3, and Becky retains.
Becky leaning into the Becky Hogan era. Now, celebrities, we do have some celebrities here. We have Ava, obviously, the female general manager of NXT, The Rock's daughter. We have Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. But a real surprise, Vicky Guerrero.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Fantastic. Like, the crowd loved her. It was awesome. Next up from NXT, we've got Jordynne Grace versus JC Jane. Another awesome match at the end here with a fantastic twist at the end.
So my move of the match was early. So Grace picks up Jane like in the package position, like it was going to be a package pile driver, but then literally just throws her up and makes it into a power bomb. To be that strong and smooth is unbelievable. After that, she hits a world's strongest slam. And again, I've not watched a lot of either of these. I'm not super locked in on NXT, but man, again, the women's division going forward is just going to continue to be stacked as they call up these absolutely amazing wrestlers.
Yeah, I was catching Great American Bash. I had it on in the background while I was doing some other stuff, and the men's matches I was not thrilled by, but the women's matches, double thumbs up. The finale here is Jane orders Fallon Henley, her henchman, to grab the title. The official grabs the title to prevent the DQ. Grace pins, but kicks the count out at 2. Blake Monroe is playing great defense here for Jordynne Grace. It seems like Toni Storm ran her out of AEW. But wait a minute. Blake hits Jordynne with the title. Was that an accident? Jordynne crawls out of the ring. Blake provides her the title. Wow, a double cross. So, we'll see if that story continues on in NXT and crosses over to the main shows on SmackDown and Raw. Next up, a big match here. The Women's Tag Team Championship. The Judgment Day representing Raw, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss representing SmackDown versus Sol Ruca and Zarya representing NXT. And finally, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. Now, to clarify, we talked about another form of Japanese theater on a previous episode. Kabuki is a classical form of Japanese theater that originated in 17th century Japan, the Edo period, mixing dramatic performance with traditional dance. Kabuki theater is known for its heavily stylized performances, its glamorous, highly decorated costumes, and for the elaborate kumadori makeup worn by some of its performers. Thank you, Wikipedia. That's what Asuka's makeup is referencing, is the kumadori makeup.
Hell yeah.
So even Sol Ruca's theme is so good. Kairi Sane is bopping to it. It turns out Sol's dad is Paul A. Hampton, a co-founder of the ska band The Skeletones.
I thought you were going to tell me it had to do with the hotels.
Unfortunately not. That's Paris.
I thought that's why I thought maybe you're going to do a wraparound connection there. I was going to be a son of a bitch.
Alexa gets a huge pop when she comes out with Charlotte Flair.
Arguably the biggest of the weekend.
Arguably the biggest of the weekend. So there's 2 people in the ring at any time. You can tag in any other wrestler at any time here. So, what is your move of the match here?
There's two I had to go. Bliss hits a running front flip senton early on, and then there's a point where Sol Ruka does a handstand in the ring and then twists herself around to do like a double splash essentially, and I'm just like, whew. Again, not the only handstand we'll see tonight that I was like, oh my god, how does anyone do that?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. My move of the match here is right after another, a soul snatcher on Charlotte Flair. Charlotte had no clue it was happening, and then Alexa put Sol in the sister Abigail, but Ruka is able to counter. Immediately after this, getting into the finale here, Zarya gets ready to go, spears Ruka after Charlotte saves Alexa. Maybe they're not allies of convenience anymore. Raquel throws Alexa over the ropes into the Kabuki Warriors. Raquel hits the Tejada Bomb on Sol Ruka to retain 1, 2, 3. Roxanne runs in to Koala Bear on Raquel. Raquel kind of likes this.
Raquel's buying it. She's sipping the Kool-Aid.
She's sipping the Kool-Aid. Liv, we hope you get better soon.
Better hurry up.
Yoo-hoo. Next up, we have the WWE Women's Championship, Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus.
Like, again, man, Trish has still got it.
Oh, absolutely. She did not. I can't say if I ever have seen Trish Stratus wrestle in her prime back in the day. Even now, I'm like, you just keep working, just keep going. Like,
yeah, early on
we can find space.
Oh man, early on she hits what she calls the stratosphere. It's basically again, she basically does a handstand. This is on the apron, grabs Tiffy's head between her legs and throws her off the apron. Soon after, hits a tornado DDT. Right, we get the Tiffy Swanton, which is also always fantastic. We get another stratosphere into her chick kick for a 2. Just fantastic.
I loved when Tiffany received Stratisfaction. It was fantastic. That's an awesome name.
So yeah, that's a bulldog off the ropes. Again, that was good. And again, I was like, maybe, like, she used to put away a lot of wrestlers with that. I thought maybe. Trish then tries to steal the moonsault, but Tiffy gets her knees up.
Tiff gets her own prettiest moonsault ever. Trish down, a pin, 1, 2, 3 by Tiffany. Tiffany retains. Remember, folks, it's Tiffy time. Next up, we have No Holds Barred, Jade Cargill versus Naomi with special guest referee Bianca Belair. I mean, Singapore cane, toolbox, chains, a camera.
Yeah, like they don't even make it to the ring. The fight starts on the ramp. Like you said, the kendo stick. I love the toolbox. Naomi hits a bulldog on an already set up chair. I love that she grabs a chain from the toolbox and again makes very sure not to choke Jade with the chain.
Yes.
Sticks it like in her mouth and pulls. Again, we are very careful not to show anything like that. Right? Jade wraps the chain around her hand, ends up punching Naomi with it, and then that's when she steals the camera, hits her with it, and then just throws it outside. Doesn't hand it back to the guy, just throws it outside the ring.
So that was an old DV cam. So I used them like once in college. By the time I got into my TV production class in high school, we were already using what were called P2 cameras, which use a sort of like it's a bigger SD card, essentially. So they use the P2 card. So I used DV cam like once, but it's an advanced form of VHS. It's a magnetized strip of tape. That is probably just a camera that's been busted for years, or it just like finally gave out. They go for so many hours, like miles on a car. And so I knew somebody was going to be like, hey, Charlie, what do you think about that camera spot? No, they did not use one of their $30,000 red cameras that shoots in 8K. No, they're going to pull something out of the closet that hasn't worked in a long time.
So after that's why we get to my move of the match. So Naomi's on the outside. Jade takes the toolbox and just like tries to throw it like she's trying to crush her. Again, like probably would have actually killed her if it hit and was real.
Yeah.
And then I think I get worked here a little bit. Yes and no.
You do.
Well, hold on. Because first, right, they're fighting on the outside by the table. And then Naomi throws Jade into the announce table.
Yep.
And Jade does accidentally kick the screen and break it. And I'm like, oh, I think Jade broke that for shoot, but I think they already had this next spot set up
with the firecracker.
Exactly, because then Naomi goes and throws Jade into it, and it like sparks after, and I'm like, I think it was always supposed to spark. I don't think Jade was supposed to accidentally kick it, because you literally see like, you know, back in the day, like when the Wii first came out and people were throwing the nunchucks at the TV by accident, the Wiimotes, I should say. Sorry, the nunchucks was the accessory. Don't at me. But it was just like you could see like where her foot hit and where the screen kind of like colored out and all.
Well, so that's like older tube TVs would actually blow up because it's a cathode ray tube. It's literally shooting photons at the screen. RGB, little red, green, blue. If back in the day, if you like looked very closely at a CRT TV, you could see the individual colors. Very autistic things that I used to do as a child. And I was immediately like, oh, that was a work, but an effective one. Naomi does get a table ready upside down, but then slides it into the ring. Naomi wants to use the legs of the table against Jade, eliciting "you sick fuck" chants from the crowd. Naomi sends Jade into the apron. Naomi uses the chair to push Jade off of the ring and through a table. She's not done. Jade somehow kicks out at the last minute. Naomi, setting up another table, orders Bianca away from checking in on Jade, stacking Jade up onto the table, then a chair on top. Jade going up, a chair to the spine by Jade. Jade setting up here. What's she going to do? Table, or through the table, it's a Jaded. Jaded gets her 1, 2, 3. Let's go. The storm is not yet over.
And then at some point, Naomi got busted open. You could see her bleeding from like the bridge of her nose. And when she shows up on Raw on Monday, you can see that she still has like not the stitch, but like the butterfly band or whatever they call it. Maybe it's butterfly stitch. But yeah, she got busted open for real and is still feeling the effects of that.
I was like, is she wearing a breathing strip? But no, that makes a lot more sense. Next up, I love a battle royale.
I love when they all start in the rings. It's such chaos, and my favorite is to like watch not the main action. You always see people kind of just like in the corner. They're like or like right when there's like 4 people just like down under the rope, just kind of waiting for their next spot. Like, oh man,
what were some spots that stood out to you?
I'd mentioned before, right? We had not seen the end of our handstands, and Trish was not the last one. So Kalani Jordan gets tossed down and ends up on the announce table. At first, she's like, can I jump back? I don't know. Ends up doing a handstand, walks her way all the way back in the ring. Stephanie Vaquer hits like, I wrote 1 million. It felt like 1 million headbutts on Ivy. Like it was just so many in a row. Her and Julia end up working together to eliminate Ivy later.
One moment that stood out to me was Wade calling the Devil's Kiss bouncy bouncy. Stephanie Vaquer gets Nikki Bella up in the Devil's Kiss, but Chelsea Green breaks it up. Maxine pulls the straps down, does the worm, and then pulls an elbow. The very hilarious mix-up on Wade's part where he accidentally references Candace Mitchell eliminating Maxine.
Well, hold on. I want to go back to the worm real quick.
Yeah.
Because she screams in Natalia's face, like, Natty, do the worm. And like, I don't know if they didn't talk about it before. She didn't seem to understand what the worm really was, because Natalia kind of did the worm and just ended up like flopping on top of the other two instead of like doing the worm and then dropping the elbow. But again, it was fantastic.
So Candice LeRae eliminating Maxine, and Wade references, or he mentions this Candace Mitchell, and I was like, who's Candace Mitchell?
Well, Cole was saying that, right?
Oh, Cole.
Yeah, he kept being like, he's like, she's gonna beat you up, like she's gonna be so mad at you. You need, and one time he gets it wrong again, and he's like, you said Candice LeRae, right? And he's like, of course I did.
Yeah, I just want to say those GoDaddy ads with Candace Mitchell made me a lifetime customer. Never mind the consistent, reliable hosting and fantastic customer service. Thank you, GoDaddy.
Not sponsored. And then Lash Legend, who I haven't seen a whole lot of, just an absolute powerhouse. They said that she was a WNBA star before.
Yes.
Literally presses Selena Vega, just toss her right out of the ring.
Nikki Bella spearing Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
Canadian on Canadian violence.
And then we do get a devil's kiss or a bouncy to Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
Lash Legend picks up Nia Jax and gets her on the apron.
Stephanie Vaquera assisting to push her over.
Yeah, so they are both swinging on her. There's a point where Lash Legend literally uses Stephanie Vaquera as a weapon, but that still wasn't enough. And then finally they knock Nia off the apron, and Stephanie Vaquera and Lash Legend are the last two for this title shot for Clash in Paris.
Yeah, so it ends here with a 619, a 619, as Taz would say, by Vaquer. A springboard crossbody caught by Lash Legend over the top rope. They're on the apron trying to hang on. On the apron, Devil's Kiss rolls Lash Legend out. Stephanie Vaquer going to Paris. La Primera. The other Stephanie comes out to interview her. This is difficult for Stephanie, but wrestling is her first language. Thankfully, it's a universal language. Stephanie thanks Stephanie Vaquer, thanks all the women in the wrestling industry. Evolution is a big show and a big experience. It's a big deal. Stephanie, shout out to you. You're getting a really good handle on your English. And yes, we will remember Stephanie Vaquer for a long time. Some more celebrities. Of course, Quavo. If we're in Atlanta and the WWE's there, Quavo's going to be there. RIP Takeoff. And then we have a match here for the Women's World Championship, our main event of the evening. Io Sky, the champion, defending against Rhea Ripley.
You could tell it was two people that have wrestled each other a lot, have a lot of respect. Like early on, both of them kind of like, there's points where they could kind of get an upper hand, but they're almost like teasing each other with it, right? There's a point where Rhea could have like crushed Io in the corner, but instead just kind of looks there and does the head point. And you can actually hear them talking in the ring saying how much they respect each other.
Yeah.
And then this match took off after that.
I mean, before we get to the twist in the match, my moment of the match is just like looking at Io after a Razor's Edge and a powerbomb from Rhea Ripley. How was she still standing? Amazing stuff.
Yeah. Again, so many good moves. We're already running long, so I'm just kind of gonna get into the part here where they hit the referee's out, right? It looks like that Rhea should win the match, right? But no ref.
Where's a ref? Where's Aldis? Where's Pierce? Ava, come out here. Do something. Somebody do something.
So Rhea hits a Razor's Edge just for good measure, and then they fight into the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Rhea and Io up on this road box. Rhea's acting like she's going to toss Io off of it, but she gets pushed off herself. Io then climbs to an even higher road box.
Yes.
And then does an insane crossbody off the top. And it was funny. You can see the ground's a little different. And it's like, what is that? I'm like, I'm sure they'll say that's where, they put, oh, they were running a bunch of cords and all under there. Like, I'm sure it was a mat or whatever. But again, like, still absolutely bananas. They continue to fight in the crowd. There's a point where Rhea is like laying on the concrete steps and Io is just stomping the hell out of her. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden they just get thrown back to ringside. Like it felt like it was almost like a cut scene. And then it's like, all right, we're back by the ring.
And by this point, Jessica Carr is back. Rhea kicks out after the moonsault. Rhea hits a Spanish fly off the top rope. They're still down. Jessica is here to check on them. But whose music is that? It's Naomi. Oh my God. Oh my God. Charles Robinson is there. It's not Charles Robinson. Oh my God. Oh my God. The ref is with her. She's cashing in. It's now a triple threat match. No disqualifications. Naomi is fresh. Split-legged moonsault. 1, 2, 3. It's over. Naomi wins. What? Who could have thought? Who could have thought?
Naomi wins. Been 7 years since her last world championship, right? Mm-hmm. Climb back to the top of the mountain. And again, I'm glad they put her in this position. Again, after a lot of the stuff with Jade closer to WrestleMania and all, I was worried she's going to kind of fall out the scene. I thought they did a really good job. All of her, proceed with caution, all the stuff she did online with the Money in the Bank briefcase. She's like, this is what I have inside of it. And whether it's like the taser, the Big Jim action figure. So, and we'll kind of talk about what's next for her when we get to Raw, but this is going to go, and I love it.
I absolutely love what Naomi is doing with it. This whole thing with the caution tape, she's been leaning into it since Royal Rumble earlier this year when the theme was 365 by Charlie XCX, and of course it's Brat, right? So she went in full in with the Brat, the Brat neon green, right? And she's been leaning into that neon caution tape aesthetic this entire time. It's been fantastic, Naomi. One of the best gimmicks in the women's division.
And they actually took the caution tape from her Money in the Bank briefcase and they made it into a 1-of-1 card with her signature, which is super sick.
Yeah, we're kind of becoming card guys now, but yeah, that was evolution. Listen, the chatter that I saw online was like, yeah, you could put 7 cards on a match if they're all good.
You can put 7 cards on a match.
If they're all good. Yep. Mm-hmm. Who'd have thunk it?
Now, imagine if they could put 7 matches on a card, though.
But you need the Bloodline and the MFTs, and you need to have, the Vision. They each need 30-minute spots, So, I don't know. We'll talk about it more here next when we talk about Raw here on The C Show. Hey, Charlie here from the podcast you're currently listening to. Do you like it? Maybe you like our social media profiles, like on Instagram or on Blue Sky, maybe Facebook too. Did you know I can help your business with that? Yeah, whether it's something as simple as helping your business have a stronger presence on social media, or you have a great idea for a podcast of your own, I can help. Visit charlesfstewart.com/contact to get started today. That's Charles, spelled the usual way, F as in Frank, STEWART.com, or you can DM us on social media at CShowPod. Thanks for obliging my self-promotion. Now, back to the show. Welcome back to the C Show. We are in our portion here talking about Raw. Of course, we're going to start off with a big recap for the weekend. Of course, we get an update on Seth Rollins at the doctor. Heyman is to provide an update. And then, as of recording now, we are 17 days away from SummerSlam. So, Naomi comes out first. Fortunately, we have Michael Graves still on the call while Pat drops the ball at MLB All-Star Weekend. Did you see that press conference with him and Dave Roberts?
No.
So during the pandemic, Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers, said like, oh, hey, I think that's a really good idea that the MLB is moving the All-Star game out of Atlanta due to Georgia's restrictive voting laws. And then a reporter asked him about it, and be like, hey, with your previous statements about it, what do you think about it now? And Pat was like, can you repeat the question?
Oh, Christ.
After the reporter, she explained it clearly, enunciated perfectly. He's like, I'm sorry, I don't understand what you said. Can you say that again? She says it again. He's like, well, I don't really understand your question. And like Dave Roberts is being like, well, we're just excited that it's here and it's a big opportunity. It's just like, Jesus. Graves, we love you. Stay on the call.
Thank you, Corey Graves.
Thank you, Corey Graves. So Naomi says she assumed that we thought she would cash in on Tiffany. She's leaving Bianca and Jade in the dust on SmackDown. She advises the Raw locker room, the Raggedy Heifers, to proceed with caution. Now, a heifer is not really a derogatory term. It is actually just a cow that has not yet born a calf or has born only one calf. It's a general ranching term. It's all over the Wikipedia article. But now it's time for Rhea Ripley. Naomi can't believe it either. Rhea is reckless and pissed, but Naomi is on Rhea's list. Io's back and she wants her title back.
Tells Rhea to get in line. Mm-hmm. I'll get my title back from you. And then Naomi says something that feels very early 2000s WWE when they were still trying to be super edgy. Mm-hmm. Because, again, you can perfectly understand Io. Her English is pretty damn good.
Oh, yeah.
And then Naomi's just like, I don't know what you said. I'm just like, yikes.
Yeah, they're just like, it's just using that accent to be like, oh, I don't understand what you said. And it's just like, whatever. It's lame.
Yeah, then Naomi tells them both to get to the back of the line, and then she goes all the way in the back. The backity back.
Pierce walks in to settle this argument. He welcomes Naomi to Monday Night Raw and says, okay, fine then. We'll do another triple threat match. Io versus Rhea versus Naomi at SummerSlam for the title. We go into our Judgment Day sketch. Finn is taking care of the titles. As long as Dom has his medical note, his note from the doctor, he's good. Shout out to Raquel and Roxanne for bringing back the titles. While JD sets up the match on WWE 2K in the background, Finn suggests for the rest of the Judgment Day, walks in as a united front for Liv for the Judgment Day's match here against the Kabuki Warriors.
I just do want to say real quick, Dom says that AJ is stalking him and that he's like almost worried, and then we'll come back to this in a little bit.
Oh, yes. Because next up we have Kabuki Warriors versus Judgment Day. Graves reminds us early, just because you're on a diet doesn't mean you can't look at the menu.
This was pretty good. I didn't like the ending. Like Roxanne starts early with like this around the world side Russian leg sweep, which was awesome. So Kairi Sane does this jumping armbar, and then Asuka comes in as well. But so Kairi Sane has an armbar on Raquel, who literally picks her up with her one arm and then slams her on top of Asuka, who's also doing an armbar. Crazy display of power. And then they set up for the insane elbow combo with Asuka holding and Kairi Sane coming down. But in a shocking turn of Judgment Day events, Dom distracts the ref. Raquel pulls Kairi Sane off the cover.
Roxanne turns around, puts a pin on Asuka, and Raquel makes it happen, again, with assistance from Dom. Judgment Day holds up their titles in victory. Backstage, Jackie Redmond is with Heyman and Rollins' cronies. Rollins' health is not a relevant subject, as he can hold the briefcase until next June, as we discussed earlier. Breakker will run the gauntlet. He will become the number one contender. He will beat Gunther at SummerSlam, become the next heavyweight champion of the world, Braun Breakker. So that's our main event for the evening. We'll talk about that here in a moment. During the ad break, Byron Saxton interviews LA Knight in the crowd. The mom who like drags their kid into the shot is so funny. But Knight reminds us he wants to talk about Seth's injury. He wishes Seth a speedy recovery because he wants his chance to hurt Seth Rollins. You hurt your damn self. Let me hurt you the right way. Yeah. Apparently, The Miz and George Kittle were at a Pro-Am golf tournament over the weekend. Is The Miz back? Is he on a break? We don't know.
Well, did you watch the AEW show?
No. I haven't watched it all yet.
Okay, I thought I had seen something that The Miz showed up there. I'm not sure as a part of something or if he just happened to be there. Again, that was only like one or two tweets, and I kind of tried to follow up. I couldn't see a whole lot, and I haven't gotten the chance to sit and watch it yet.
Oh.
So I don't know. Don't quote me on that. We'll do some research. We'll get back to you.
Well, Mrs. Miz, unfortunately, whose name escapes me currently, she was at Evolution. So, my only thought, other than where is the Miz? Where is the Miz? George Kittle is definitely going to move to the WWE after he retires from the NFL, after he leaves the NFL, whatever that is. He definitely just like he has the juice for it. I feel like
I agree with that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Backstage, Jackie Redmond interviews Lyra Valkyria. She's facing Bayley for a 2 out of 3 falls match for a spot to face Becky for the IC title. How much is business and how much is personal between you and Bayley? Then you can ask me about my match for my title. Bayley enters, says whoever loses goes to the back of the line. Maybe it's best for you to stay out of my way. Leading into this best 2 out of 3s falls for the number one contender spot for the women's IC title, Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria. Okay, are you doing the thing at home now where if it's Alicia on the mic doing the announcing, where she's like, "This match is for one fall," because I'm doing that now and it's becoming a problem.
I am not. So what did you shout when she said this was 2 out of 3 falls?
2 out of 3 falls.
I thought this was good. I always love a 2 out of 3 falls match. You're always going to get like, because they're not all going to be finishers, right? It doesn't make sense to be like, oh, they got the finisher and they were pinned for 3 and now they're going to wrestle, 2 more falls or whatever. Like the first fall is just Bayley, after some back and forth, kind of slaps Lyra and then steals the first fall off a roll up. right? Lyra kind of has her comeback here, tornado DDT, that she then rolls through into a sick fisherman suplex for a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Lyra then hurts her back when she gets Irish whipped into the corner.
Yeah, it was hard.
And then Bayley starts picking on it. Bayley does a back suplex onto the apron.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bayley tries to go for a cradle that Lyra counters and rolls through to get the second fall. We are now 1-1. The last fall takes it all.
During the break, Lyra goes on the offensive and starts to target Bayley's knees. A double stomp on Bayley's knees. Dragon screws from Lyra after the break. Bayley rolling around on the floor. Lyra hung up on the second rope. Bayley wants to finish this, even if it's with one good leg. It's about sending a message. Bayley catches Lyra mid-flight and Bayley to belly suplex slam. Lyra's got Bayley in the Nightwing, but Bayley's able to kick out. It wasn't clean, Graves points out. Fisherman suplex on the apron. This is awesome. The finale here is a crossface locked in by Bayley. Valkyria wants to get out. Bayley rolls through it, but Lyra counters into a Nightwing, and it's over. 1, 2, 3. Graves, with another point of wisdom here. Silence the doubters and make them believers. Dum, dum, dum. Woo! Speaking of which, who comes out other than Becky Lynch?
Are we going to comment about the text message you sent me while I was in bed trying to go to bed before 6 a.m. practice? Or are we going to breeze by that?
We're going to breeze right by that. No.
No, I'm cool with that. I just want to throw it out there.
So Becky comes out in a yellow jacket and then red pants. Very much Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania.
Well, Becky Hogan, bro.
Becky Hogan. Pasties. Becky, your high beams are on. Backstage, Jackie Redmond interviews Stephanie Vaquer. La Primera came to be champion. She's going to compete for the world title. Chelsea comes in, argues that she should be the representative. She misunderstands what Primera means. She thinks it means loser. Chelsea is now Canadian again. She says she's a proud Canadian and uses the Secret Service to protect herself. We then cut to a pre-tape Karrion Kross promo. We are your heroes now. Sammy isn't here. He's hurt. Karrion and Scarlett agree he's a liar. And again, Kross hits it home. He wants to hear Sammy say, Kross told the truth. Next up, we've got some Canadian on Canadian violence with Chelsea Green versus Nikki Bella. What's your move of the match?
So there are a lot of good things in this match. Chelsea does a really awesome backstabber off the rope. She hits her saluting neck breaker.
Mm-hmm.
We get the Bella Buster, but Secret Service comes to be a distraction before the pin. But Bella cleans him up. And then I think we roll into your move of the match.
Yes, my move of the match is the Rack Attack 2.0 for the pin 1, 2, 3 for Nikki Bella. Afterwards, Piper Niven attacks with the bulldozer on Nikki Bella, and then a super kick by Alba Fire. Stephanie Vaquer comes out to drain the swamp, and a reminder that immigrants make America great.
Also, I'm pretty sure Nikki Bella is from California. Trish is Canadian.
Trish is Canadian. I know that for sure. She was in that Lee sweater. Not Nikki. My iPad heard me.
Yep, born in San Diego, California.
Oops.
Raised in Phoenix.
Oops. Where's she built from? Built from San Diego, California.
Of
Okay.
Italian and Mexican descent.
We're leaving it in. We're leaving it in. And then I got lost in my notes here too.
Yeah, because now we go backstage and the New Day is still grieving. They stayed away from mourning because Pierce caught him with that 1-2 last time.
They are bargaining for their rematch. Grayson Waller presents 2 toupees to Pierce. Human hair. Pierce advises them to be patient and not flip their wigs.
As he flips the tray with the wig sitting on, I'm like, Pierce, again, 2 weeks in a row, you just hit me with this good classic, like, dad joke that I'm like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
That was fantastic.
Pierce now has to deal with the Judgment Day. He comes up to Dom and says, hey, Dom, you look pretty spry. Dom,
it was the adrenaline in my soul.
I'm tender. I'm tender. Dom is to be reevaluated in the next week, and the Judgment Day assures Dom he'll be fine. And AJ, the camera pans across to AJ kneeling, pleading to God, as the New Day would say, please make sure that he's okay. I want my intercontinental title.
Yeah, I have AJ was in the back praying, and then I put in parentheses yelling at God because he was literally looked like he was like screaming. And then Dom's literally like, please God, don't let this happen. And then AJ does the point at my eyes, point at your eyes, point at my eyes again.
What is praying if not yelling at God? If my mom makes it to this point in the podcast, I hope she likes that.
You don't think she's going to be out after the F word in the first 45 seconds?
She's heard me say it before. Byron Saxton interviews American Made. They're discussing El Grande Americano 2.0 versus Dragon Lee. It's clearly Ludwig Kaiser. Everybody knows that. Well, wasn't Chad Gable El Grande Americano? And Ivy takes this opportunity to put everyone on notice, especially Stephanie Vaquer. Backstage, Jackie Redmond is with Rusev. Where does Rusev hope to go? People call me a god, but maybe I'm a saint of killing off Irish saints. Sheamus appears behind him. Sheamus got a rematch after Pierce agreed with him regarding their previous match.
Well, what did Pierce agree? Did you write that down?
I did not.
Pierce agrees that you are a dirty, cheating bastard, and we have a rematch.
Classic.
And then Rusev gives what might be the line of the night here. Like, I'm going to text you and be like, I think this needs to be our title.
I came to dominate gold, not gingers. Yeah, no, we're locking that in then. We're locking that in. Next up, we've got a Gunther Town Hall. He's in a good mood. He retired Goldberg. The crowd chants for Goldberg, though. Gunther ended the myth of Goldberg. What is it? A chop, spear, jackhammer?
What?
When he's like dissing Goldberg, like the three moves that Goldberg knows and does.
Oh, I know it's spear and jackhammer. I don't know what the third one is.
Yeah. But who is next for the Ring General? Gunther doesn't care who wins the gauntlet, but Breakker and Paul Heyman come out first. Heyman shakes hands with Gunther. Gunther interrupts. Gunther is not interested and is going to go up to the box where he's going to watch this match. Breakker gets in his way, prevents him from walking out of the ring immediately. Paul warns Gunther he's going to face Breakker at SummerSlam one way or another. Braun's Breakker is the next best thing, the big dog. This is Braun Breaker's yard. You're not looking at another contender. He's a Steiner. Braun Breaker will be the next long-term world heavyweight champion. Braun finally lets him pass. This leads into the gauntlet for the number one contender for the men's world heavyweight championship.
So a gauntlet match is two wrestlers start, and after every pinfall or submission, the next wrestler comes in. They determine the order by random drawing. Right? So obviously you want to come near the end. You're fresh. The guy has gone through, as many as, 3 or so other matches. It could be the next freshest guy. So Braun starts out here first with Penta.
Yeah, Penta starts off with a huge crossbody, but it is just very clear very early that this is just a ragdoll for Breakker to play with here. While Penta does counter a spear attempt with a super kick into a sling blade and then a backstabber off the ropes while Gunther looks on board, Breakker gets the knee, which causes Penta to tie his flip-flops, as I put it. The Kensington lean. A springboard attempt caught by Breakker with the spear. Penta eliminated. Out comes next LA Knight.
Yeah.
LA Knight starts strong with a clothesline. Breakker tries to toss Knight over his shoulders, but Knight turns it into a neck breaker. That's the neck breaker with 3 Ks.
So Knight misses a BFT, bounces off the ropes, and then Braun, I don't know if Braun was trying to do like a Hurricane Rana or what. Braun jumped up with his legs, and then Knight just powerbombed the hell out of him.
Yeah.
After that, it was just all Braun. He hit that military press gutbuster, hits the spear for 3, bring out the next victim.
It's just me, Uso. JYE. It's just me, Uso. It's main event. Jey Uso out next. Jey wants his title back. Breaker gets a water break, and that's with 2 Ks. Jey goes right after Breaker, a self-harm dive on Breaker. Well, Breaker is down and out of the ring. Jey looks at the hard cam and says, "Do it again. Play the song." During the break, Jey gets his song in again and another shot at Breaker as he stumbles back into the ring. Jay's crossbody isn't enough. An amazing shot as Jey soars while Gunther watches in the background. After a big Uso, Breaker kicks out again. Breaking Steiner on Jey. Jey kicks out somehow. They cut back to Gunther in the box. Disappoint. Jey catches Gunther with a kick and a spear of his own. But come on, Jey. Breaker kicks out at 2.99 somehow. Jey going up for a spear, but big Bronson Reed pulls him down. A spear by Breaker. 1, 2, 3, and it's over. Jey Uso eliminated. Out next, it's the Cult of Personality. It's CM Punk. Punk goes right for it. He doesn't even take off his jacket. Punk staring down Heyman, gets up on the ropes. It's clobbering time.
Yeah, Punk comes in, hits an inverted atomic drop, goes to the top rope, immediately gets caught into a belly-to-belly by Braun, and then when
Breaker looks at the camera and says, "What time is it, Stu? Is it clobbering time? I don't think so." And then slams Punk throat first into the ropes.
We end up getting another Breakensteiner, but Punk rolls through it at the end for a 2 count. Punk gives us his neck breaker. We get the running knee. And then as he climbs to the top, guess who tries to interfere again? Bronson Reed. But CM Punk was expecting it, kicks him off, then hits his homage to Macho Man.
The Macho Man. Punk hits him with the flying elbow. Breaker kicks out, and Punk puts him in the Anaconda Vice. Breaker's in the ring now with an elbow. Eddie Orango trying to get Reed to leave. Who's that? It's Jey Uso. Bad ribs and all, just like Fat Sal. Punk intercepts the spear. GTS. Punk is going to SummerSlam to face Gunther. Punk and his future foe Gunther face off across the stadium. Reed attacks. Jey comes to help. Breaker spears Jey. Reed sets Punk up for another spear by Breaker. Reed sets up Punk and Jey for a double tsunami. But it's the tribal chief. He's here to set order. Acknowledge him. Reigns picks up speed. Pop-up Samoan drop. Another Superman punch. A spear on Reed. Reed, Breaker, and Heyman stare on. This ragtag group in the ring tries to figure out what's next.
Because after they've cleared out, Roman is sitting there and just staring at Punk. And Punk kind of puts his hand out like, "You're going to help me up." Roman just keeps staring. Punk gets himself up. And again, it's just a big stare down of the vision in the aisle. Paul Heyman looks like he's seen 14 ghosts and a murder. And again, we'll see where this goes. Could it possibly be another War Games? Who's to say?
Who's to say? Yeah, what a weekend here. What a weekend.
Yeah.
And anything you want to say about the WWE universe before we go to our outro?
There's still more time. Again, a little over 2 weeks till SummerSlam here. Again, pieces are starting to fall. You know, they got to figure out a lot more stuff. For the first time, it's a 2-night SummerSlam. So, like, they have a lot of really good stuff right now. But again, if they're going to fill 2 nights, like, hopefully they each won't be, 4 hours like WrestleMania was. Like, maybe it'll be closer to two and change shows. But either way, they still need to sort out quite a few more things. I assume every title will be defended in one way or another. So I'm sure there will be more stories to build. But
absolutely,
see how it goes.
Well, we'll see how it goes here on The C Show. Welcome back to the C Show. We're going to just give you a quick outro here. I wanted to talk about three key moments from AEW Texas All In at Globe Life Stadium in Dallas, Texas, Arlington, technically. Technically, three key moments and one complaint. So my first key moment is Kevin Von Erich of the Von Erich dynasty returns with the Iron Claw alongside his sons, Marshall and Ross, accompanied by Dustin Rhodes as the Sons of Texas. Kevin has signed a Legends deal with AEW, with the equivalent of a Legends deal what the WWE has. So we'll be seeing more of Kevin Von Erich in AEW, which is excellent.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And he straight up, he does, the match ends with him doing the claw and submission style. So it's awesome. And so we're just excited to see Kevin engaged with AEW like that. Timeless, Tony Storm, of course, with Luther, defeats Mercedes Moné by pinfall to retain the AEW Women's World Championship. If you have not seen the spot that I'm talking about with Tony Storm, and she's got Mercedes Moné flipped up on, picked up under
Tombstone pile driver position.
Tombstone pile driver position. Thank you for the correct term. Go and watch that match, and you'll see why Tony Storm is the best gimmick in women's wrestling, probably the best gimmick in all of professional wrestling today. The final key moment is from the Texas Death Match for the AEW World Championship. Adam Hangman Page defeats Jon Moxley by submission. There are two spots that I want to specifically mention. There was the bed of nails, which I showed you a little bit of. There were multiple spots. I will tell you this now, it's not for the faint of heart. So if you're one of our friends that's listening and you're like, oh, Charlie, I don't really want to watch too much violence, not a lot of blood, skip it. Just skip it. Just skip it. Just skip it. The ending of that match is insane because while the WWE, Naomi and Jade are trying to choke each other with chains, and Jade's got it her hands in front of her mouth, right? Hangman literally puts the chain around Moxley's neck, pulls him over the ropes, and he's hanging Moxley.
Hangman style, if you will.
Hangman style, if you will. And I mean, I hope there's some sort of security or it's padded or whatever. But Moxley's squirming there for a minute, and Moxley's bloodied as hell. He's got blood coming out of his back from the bed of nails. But yeah, Moxley taps out on his chest. Hangman Page retains there. I want to go back and watch it. My only complaint is, while the WWE has their deal with Peacock in the US and Netflix around the world, and so that makes it able for people to watch the PLEs under those subscriptions, AEW events, Collision and Dynamite, are usually streamed on HBO Max, but then they're available usually the day after or a couple days later. All In is not available on HBO Max yet, and it still costs $50 to go buy it on Amazon or Triller or wherever. So my one complaint, Tony, if you're listening, I get it. You want to make a little bit of money off of it. After Sunday night, put it on HBO Max, dude, because I'm going to sit there and I'm going to have it on the entire time and I'm going to watch it. But it's I don't know if I really want to spend $50 when the WWE is putting it on Peacock and Netflix essentially for free, right? So that's my one point there. I will try to watch it. Hopefully, we'll see how that happens. But yeah, no, especially with the Texas Death Match, I do want to check that out. It was definitely something where it was holy cow, they went there. So, is there anything from the weekend that stands out from you? I know that we're getting dangerously close to our limit here.
Evolution was the best part of the weekend.
Yep, have to agree.
And I don't know, I feel like this is the one thing I did see from Triple H after, where it's it's something we want, demands for it every year, but again, it should build to the point where you don't need the women's only show, blah, blah, blah. And it's well, then feature them more. There's too many good women's wrestlers that are getting, a pay-per-view match, every third or fourth PLE. There's no reason half the card shouldn't be those matches every PLE. There's absolutely zero reason with how much talent they have on the roster.
And when you compare Saturday night's main event to Evolution and you look at them side by side, Evolution wins every day of the week and twice on Sundays.
Right, and you could even pick just 4 matches and make it, it really, you could pick any 4 from Evolution, and I will still take probably any single one of them over any of the Saturday night's main event matches.
I would take the Battle Royale every single time. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. But yeah. So, yeah. This has been the C Show. Is there anything else you want to add on? Anything we should be looking up forward to in the next couple of weeks?
No, they'll keep building here. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. Right?
Yeah.
Again, please, tell a friend to tell a friend if they like wrestling, if they're interested, if they used to be, or anything else of the sort. And go support your local indie shows, especially the indie wrestlers.
Yes.
Right? The money for them is not a lot in the actual matches, but in their T-shirts, in their meet and greets, right? So if you...
Stickers, cards.
Yeah, if you want to get into it, right, start at an indie show, find someone you really like, support them, right, because not everyone gets to go and be the huge star in all the PLEs. There's people that just have such a passion and a drive for wrestling. It's a huge part of their lives, and they scratch and claw to make it their livelihood.
And something I want to mention too, somebody pointed this out on TikTok, and shout out to our followers on TikTok. We are very lucky to have the 2300 arena in our backyard. We are very lucky to have what BCW has set up already, the talent, the pipeline that's going through already. I know that there are a lot of shows out there that are in fire halls, that are in schools, at the mall even. Go to those shows. Go support your local wrestlers. We could spend a lot of time sitting here and hand-wringing our hands about ticket prices for the WWE and attendance and ratings and all that shit. But at the end of the day, it's all about wrestling, so go watch wrestling.
Hell yeah.
This has been The C Show. Of course you like The C Show. Make sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share our podcast with your friends. Make sure to follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook, and YouTube at C Show Pod. If you have questions for the boys? Send us an email, cshowpod@gmail.com. Thanks to our friends, Amir and Patrick, for their assistance. The C Show is a production of 832 Media. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll be back next week.
Big slam. Just in case we need it.